All right, our next question for tonight is somebody had posted this on one of the chats and thought it'd be a great discussion topic. Is have we reached the point where sneakers are appropriate for formal events like weddings? And I think that they were referring to when you see DJs in our industry like Jason Johnny and Joe Bunn and many others, actually. Chris Washburn is another that has been wearing some very, very, very nice looking sneakers at a variety of different events. They aren't wearing like the old beat up Converse type. Well, maybe they were wearing nice Converse. But anyway, so have we gotten to the point, guys, where the old days of having to dress way up here and look like $1 million is now where we can dress down? Or what are your thoughts when it comes to attire?
I don't think it's dressing down. And basically because of, when we say sneakers, sometimes, different people have different thoughts, right? You have different ideas of what you're going to be putting on your feet. These are, when the people you're referencing, at least, these are higher end type look and feel and attire. And it might even just like one of the ones that Chris has done different times, and I saw, and I tried to convince my wife to let me try it, and she goes, yeah, you don't have the style for that. But he was wearing, it was just a solid white, I think it was like a solid white Nike, and he had on his black suit and he had the solid white Nike and it popped. Kind of the same idea where, people were transitioning where they're not wearing socks or they're completely not showing. And with suits, they're wearing, for lack of better terms, almost looks like high waters. And you go, wait a minute, like, what are we doing? But if you watch any, I'll just throw back in the fall when football was on, if you were watching some of the pregame stuff, these guys are wearing probably $1,000 suits and they're exhibiting the same style. So it is not just putting on a pair of New Balance shoes that you mowed the lawn in yesterday, but these are higher end, look and feel and style. I personally have a hard time making that transition just because I don't think it's something that I am comfortable with. And so if I tried it, I'm going to second guess myself all night.
Do you think age has something to do with that we're all over, just a little bit older?
Jason's older than I am. So I don't think it's that necessarily that's the case. Mm-hmm. I think it's where we look at ourselves. Like I'm not a cutting edge style type of person. Okay. And I think it has more to do with
on tonight. Come on now.
I do. But you don't know that I put this on 5 minutes before I turned on the camera. Before that, no.
You're just sitting in a.
But I do think that's some of it. I do see that there has been a transition in style. So 4 years ago, you were having to wear dress shoes of some sort, and they were stylish dress shoes, and you had to find something that was comfortable and stylish at the same time. And I think it's created some change to where, because style in general has changed, it's opened that door. But again, you're not going out and buying a pair of grandpa sneakers and trying to put those with a suit.
My orthopedics won't work, is what you're saying?
All right. So can I throw about 20 different comments in here?
Please.
Number one, someone in the chat mentioned Crocs. You're dead to me if you wear Crocs. I'm just letting you know that.
Okay, now I got to go see who did it so I know.
So second, if you want to see style with tennis shoes, and because at some of the places I DJ at where I dress up, I have special shoes that I wear with my dress outfit, whether it's a suit or whatever. And if you want to see someone do that right, go look at Robert Downey Jr. Suits and tennis shoes all the time, and he looks classy and stylish. If you are going for that classic dressed up look, probably not. But it all depends on you and your style. I feel like Dan said he wouldn't feel comfortable with that. I wouldn't feel comfortable in that classic style. I would need to set something apart to make myself feel comfortable. So I think the most important is you got to be you. And if you aren't a sneaker person for that stuff, that's fine. You might be a cowboy boots person, and I actually hold them higher on the list than Crocs, but whatever.
Listen, I got a pair of Crocs. You never know were Crocs, but
I saw that the other day with Adidas Crocs, and I was like, okay, that's a little something right there. Adidas stripe down the side, everything.
but I was at last fall. I was at a wedding and I had changed into my suit or whatever, and I don't remember why, but I hadn't put on my dress shoes. I think I maybe had them in the car or something like that. And so I had my sneakers on while I was wearing the suit to go out and get changed. And as I'm looking down, I'm kind of like, I could pull this off. And it wasn't, but again, they weren't quite to the level of what we were talking about some of these other guys, but I still changed into the other shoes and put them back on and because I couldn't do it. I just, in my head, I couldn't do it. I heard this said, I don't know if it was last year at the expo or it was a couple years at the expo, one of the expos. And I won't even say it was like Nick Spinelli who had thrown out the phrase, which was basically like, listen, there's a bunch of different styles out there, but if you're not comfortable with what you put on, it doesn't matter how stylish you are, you're not going to look good. Right? You're not going to be able to have that, part of the reason why it works is because they carry it like it works.
That makes
and so if you're just like, well, I'm gonna look like them, and you feel awkward, you're gonna look awkward, and you're not gonna look like the person who needs to be wearing that. And that, I think, really is what it comes down to with anything, whether it be sneakers, whether it be the suit that you wear, whether you're wearing a bow tie versus a straight tie. if you're doing that for your events,
or a bow tie like John does.
Exactly. No, he has it unbuttoned down to like here.
No. He wears the Huey Lewis. I have to take a drink before I did that. Skinny tie with piano keys on it.
Yes, that would be awesome. That would be.
There you go.
He can pull that off. Like skinny guys can pull that. Tall skinny guys can pull that off really well, like more than I could. It would disappear on me. It would look like it
would look like a bolo.
All right, yeah, it would look like a bolo on me. So yeah.
All right, let's head to the next question, guys.